Today I'm going to take you on a journey to discover the strangest Easter eggs found within the arenas of Rocket League. And no, I'm not just talking about those Moai Heads. Instead, my goal is to cover at least one feature in each map that either has an interesting story behind it, gives us an insight into the lore of Rocket League, or is just something that I think has been overlooked by the community. But speaking of which, do you know what does feel like an impossible Easter egg hunt lately? Solo queuing in this game. Whether it's Smurfs, boosted players, or just people returning for the new season, you never know what you're going to find on your team these days. Fortunately, the Rocket League Tracker app gives you an in-depth look at both your teammates and opponents' stats and ranks before each game, so you never have to be too surprised. This free in-game overlay is built on the safe and secure Overwolf platform that ensures it's both easy to use and won't slow down your computer. On top of that, the RL Tracker app also helps you analyze your own gameplay so you can track your match history and performance live. And it does it all while being completely free. So if you want to see how this app can help your game, just click my link in the description below to download and install today's sponsor, the Rocket League Tracker app. In the early days, Psyonix didn't really add many extras to the environments of their maps. Yes, they still looked good, but the 4 maps that arrived at launch in 2015 didn't even include those legendary Moai Heads. So if I was to pick the most interesting feature of Beckwith Park, it would be the fact that Manfield Stadium appears in the background. This does suggest that early on, Psyonix intended to have these arenas exist in the same world, something we now see referenced more often in the newer maps, though Beckwith still remains the only one that actually has another arena visible in the distance. As we head to Manfield, let me start out by confirming that no, it doesn't go both ways, and Beckwith Park does not appear in the background. For this map, I want to direct your attention to the flags that surround the arena. Now maybe you've looked at these before, searching for your own country. Well, if you couldn't find it, I'm here to tell you not to take it too personally. The flags shown are only the countries of the players who participated in the alpha version of Rocket League in 2014. Another launch arena was DFH Stadium, which is named after Dave Hagewood, the founder and CEO of Psyonix. Once again, these early maps do not have much to talk about, so forgive me if it seems like I'm stretching a bit, but I do think it's no coincidence that the buildings outside this arena are shaped like the boost pads from Rocket League's predecessor, supersonic acrobatic rocket-powered battle cars. We now move on to something that has perplexed the community since 2015. The Urban Central Tunnel. Now there's been several theories I've seen over the years about this fully textured pathway found under the playing area. Some have claimed it was intended to or even used to have water, though there was never any footage or pictures to back that up. Others have speculated that Psyonix might have wanted to have cars drive out of the tunnels and onto the field at the start of a game. To put the question to rest for this video, I decided to reach out to see if I could get an actual answer. Ben Beckwith, the designer of Urban Central, says his original plan was to have an underground subway system to go with the trains that were already overhead, but it never got further than adding the tunnel. Now I know it's not the most exciting conclusion, but I'm happy to finally bring to an end the urban legend of the Urban Central Tunnel. Utopia Coliseum was the first map added after launch, arriving in August 2015. So I'm going to cheat a little bit for this one and go to a more recent variant, Utopia Coliseum Gilded. For this reskin, Psyonix decided to include the Moai Head we've come to expect in all new maps. A solid gold version is found floating on a tube out in the water. The wreckage spread across the sands of Wasteland is actually the remains of a robot that originally appeared in a 2013 Psyonix mobile game called Arc Squadron. Arc Squadron is also referenced in other maps as well, for example, the planes that fly over Champions Field. But that's not the only thing I want to talk about in this arena. If we look at the blimp that flies around the stadium, we find yet another Moai, one of 3 that appear in this map. But this one also helps spell out the name Eric, who is the environment artist responsible for most of the Moai Easter eggs we see. Now, if you were to look at this blimp in your game though, I'm sad to report you wouldn't actually be able to read his name. Yes, it seems like the real Easter egg in this map is the discovery that Psyonix has lowered the quality of out-of-map textures, most likely in an effort to improve performance. I'm not sure exactly when this happened, but to get these readable pictures you see here, I ended up having to go back to videos that were made when the map launched in 2017. I know everyone likes to talk about the Galleon map being represented by the sunken ship outside of Aquadome, but for this one, I wanted to focus on something a little more obscure. This pufferfish may seem like it's just part of the aquatic scenery, but this is also a reference to another old Psyonix project. Crash Course was a King of the Hill type car battle game that eventually became SARP battle cars. You can see in this footage that the pufferfish was a power-up or weapon, but it also seems like it might have been a mascot or logo as well, as it appeared on the Psyonix website in this shot from 2007. Neo Tokyo was the first map that really confirmed the lore that Rocket League occurs in an egg-filled world. And while this cityscape is filled with advertisements, references to RL devs, and even items, I wanted to direct your attention to something a little simpler. It's that black and orange disco ball in the distance. Housed within this multifaceted orb is the same square-shaped Rocket League ball you can play with in private matches using mutators. Now you're probably having one of 2 reactions. Either wondering why there's a cue ball hidden, or you sure you've seen this cue ball before in this map. But notice the disco ball just flashes black and orange and never shows the cube. So how can this be possible? For the answer, we have to go to the original version of Neo Tokyo that was released in June 2016. And here you can see there used to be a whole animation that revealed the cube. But when Psyonix decided to standardize Neo Tokyo, for some reason the animation was not included. Thus, most players that started after 2017 will have never seen or even known there's a cube ball in there, with the one exception being Rumble players, as the old map, now dubbed Tokyo Underpass, is part of that playlist. Farmstead is a map that definitely provides more questions than answers about the Rocket League world. Here we find a farm where the rabbits are real, but the cows, pigs, and chickens are not. Also, they grow corn. Now I know it's kind of been overdone at this point, but I still have to say my pick for this map is the eggs under the bleachers and the A+L carved into the side. Which begs the question, just who are A and L? Well, stay tuned because their story will continue throughout this video. Salty Shores further expands the Egg People lore as we see them enjoying the beach and going on rides like the merry-go-round and aptly named Scrambler roller coaster. Also, eggs can apparently become disabled, so thanks for adding that terrible reality, Psyonix. Our previously mentioned Farmstead lovers also make another appearance, this time in a movie poster entitled Forbidden Love, though the identity of A and L still remains a mystery. While Forbidden Temple doesn't really have much in the way of either quirky or lore-building map features, I think it makes up for it with some epic scenery. One new thing I recently learned myself about this map is the koi fish on either side of the field will actually change depending on team color. And if you've ever wondered what the translation of these Chinese symbols at the center of the map is, in English they mean Fire Arrow Alliance, or Rocket League. In the free-to-play Season 5 trailer, the original Starbase Arc orbiting station is blasted apart by an attacking fleet of ships, giving us the new map variant, appropriately named Aftermath. Now in the debris field that surrounds the arena, we find this map's Moai, but I also want to highlight something I found a bit disturbing. You see, floating among the wreckage are several of the Egg People, or more accurately, several dead Egg People. I mean, what else could they be? This isn't a freaking spacewalk. Yes, thanks to Psyonix, we now get to ponder on whether these were killed in the explosion, or just blasted into space to asphyxiate, assuming Egg People need to breathe. But wait, that makes it worse, because if they don't need to breathe, that means they are either starving to death or freezing. Is this funny to you, Psyonix? Since when did Easter eggs start meaning floating dead bodies? At an oasis in Deadeye Canyon, we finally catch up with A and L, no doubt now living off the royalties from the movie that was made about their lives. Their camera has several pictures spanning different Rocket League maps, but also a clue that leads us to Adam Beckwith, senior 3D artist at Psyonix, and the A of A and L. The dog in the picture is his dog, and yes, L is his wife. Now this isn't a regular arena, but I had to include it because it's the only Easter egg I've ever heard of in a Rocket Labs map. Credit to Samsonix on Reddit for discovering the galleon ship has its name written on the outside. It is the Jolly Psyonix. Rocket League's newest map, Sovereign Heights, has a lot going on. There's the road signs referencing other arenas, the traditional Moai hanging from this crane, and even another appearance from Adam Beckwith's dog. Not to mention whatever this disturbing billboard is supposed to tell us about the Egg People universe. Gross. But since I'm pretty sure that this map has been already extensively covered in other videos, I would like to talk about something a little more obscure. Now we all know the story of the famous RLCS moment that spawned the This Is Rocket League slogan, and thus, This Is Broccoli could just be a reference to how much saying Rocket League sounds like broccoli. This has been a joke that's come up on the subreddit from time to time. In fact, here's Musty's comment on a post about it in 2017. Also, people have gone so far as to make pictures using the broccoli theme. But my personal theory is this is also a callback to the 2017 RLCS Player Spotlight video on Dapper, during which the auto captions on YouTube think he's saying broccoli.
Never working a single day in your life. That's how I feel about being able to play Rocket League professionally.
So, do you agree with my theory? What was your favorite Easter egg in the new map? Let me know in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out my recent list of the 7 rarest player achievements in Rocket League. My name is Rocket Sledge. Thanks for watching.